But on a daring mission to Mount Krem, you met a young girl by the name of Ayan. She hailed from a place that has lain hidden from the world for centuries, the Celestial Lair. The peoples of this land, the Draconians and the Dragons, once lived together in blissful harmony. But then, the mighty dragon Ascobus laid the city to ruin. Now, Ayan is seeking out brave heroes who can help repair their great city. Join us, but be on your guard. Your path is beset with danger. We may be few, but we are brave, each and every one of us. Some tales are truer than others. When you return, you'll have many tales to tell. Just watch out for the dragons, especially those which are still alive. Act 8, The Celestial Lair.
And we're in.
We are there.
First important question, do we have sound? We always need to check if we have sound.
Test.
Test. Do we have sound before we start talking and it's pointless?
Write something in.
Okay, we have sound. And with that, we're in. Good evening, everybody. Thanks for joining us today as we are previewing Act 8, the next big update for Nostale. The Celestial Lair, as you just learned, is the name that we're going with. It's the first part. There will be a second one, as per usual, with these bigger updates. That's currently planned for next year. But today we want to look into this update, kind of see what it's all about, showcase most of the features, showcase some of the new maps, some of the new stuff, and just kind of give you an idea what it's all about. When can we expect this update? Maybe that's something good to lead with.
I think it's quite close already. I mean, we already announced the update, so it will be there next week actually already.
Yes, it's planned for next week.
Yeah.
You can plan this before Christmas. And there's quite a bit of stuff to do, I think. But when can I access it? Do I have to be champion level 60 to get in there?
We thought about like a higher champion level, but this time we also did it again for champion level 20.
20.
Yeah.
So with champion level 20, you can access the new act and play everything that's in there.
That's not quite true.
You might of
play
course
everything, but yeah. You can exit it already. Yeah.
You can enter it, not exit it. You can exit it as well. All right. Should we get into some of the stuff that's in there? So how are we doing this tonight? We're briefly talking about everything that's in there, like the features, giving you a brief overview. Then we will play one of the trailers that kind of, again, just sums it up in 1 neat minute. And then season, and Jofiel will jump in game and give you like an overview of what's actually in there and kind of play it. Let's just jump straight into it. While we are already at the champion level topic, the maximum champion level has been raised.
Exactly. Players were expecting it, and yes, we did it. We increased it to champion level 80, from 60 to 80.
Yes, so 20 more champion levels are there to obtain. To obtain those, you get, of course, a couple new maps to level on. I believe it's 14.
We have 14 this time, yeah.
14 new maps
to level.
There's 2 raids. Both with pre-rooms, I believe.
Exactly. The element you can see already, like it's ice and fire, basically.
Yeah. Pre-rooms were very important to us. We noticed with the previous pre-room raid that we did that people respond very well to those. And it's general something that was demanded a lot. So it's, again, something we're going for. We think that usually people respond well to this. And it's worth the extra effort. Next to raids, we, of course, have time spaces. How many of those?
We have 8 time spaces bound to the quest.
All right. We have new equipment.
2 sets for each class.
Very well. What else is there? Am I forgetting? I am forgetting something. There is the new instant combat.
Yes. Exactly.
That I believe we want to preview today already if it works out.
We try out, yes. Let's see if it's right.
It might work out, it might not. We'll look into it. General disclaimer, this patch is of course not finished. That means everything you see tonight, there might be bugs, there might be unfinished loca. We're still not on the final version for this, so take it with a grain of salt. There might be changes, there might be adjustments, there might be stuff that's not fully done. One thing I also forgot, the specialist system.
Yes, specialist upgrades are increased from plus 15 to plus 20 in total.
That's right. So we're progressing there as well. Because I saw someone asking in chat, Jofiel is not a developer. Jofiel is the game designer here
For
at
Nostale.
Gameforge for Nostale, which means he's basically a developer. He's doing quite a lot of work in-game with changes, with adjustments, with actual numbers. I, on the other hand, am just a lowly community manager for the German and English communities and soon the entire world, if my plans work out. We'll see how it progresses, you know. Someone is asking about our shirts in chat. As per usual with the streams, we have settled on some good shirts. I think on your end we see a cowboy cat riding a space shark that's puking a rainbow.
Exactly.
And on my side we have basically just my profile picture. I actually got this shirt gifted by a Teamler just so I could wear it on stream. So that's the only reason I'm here today, so I can finally wear this.
And Bushy is here too, without any t-shirt.
That's right. Also, just in general, the disclaimer, of course, everyone here was tested for COVID-19 before we started streaming, so we're doing this in a safe environment. Everyone has been prepared, vaccinated, is healthy. No unnecessary risks here. All right. Do we have any urgent chat questions before we jump into the feature trailer? Do we have a code tonight? Yes, we will have a little giveaway code later.
We even have 2.
We have 2? Okay, we have 2 giveaway codes. We'll just throw that into the screen at some point, and then you can look at that and enjoy it. I kind of resemble Mark Zuckerberg. I get that with every stream. I still don't understand it, but yeah, you're not the first one to say that.
There's a meme, I think. You can search for it on...
Several, yeah. What about merges? We have merges planned for early next year. We cannot say much on what is being merged yet, but that's definitely something we want to do again in probably the first quarter of next year. Again, no confirmations on date, but yes, we're planning those. Anything else? Any new SPs planned? Generally, yes, but not with Act 8. Similar to how we did SP9 with just a general update in between acts, we will probably also do SP10 in between act updates. It's currently not planned to tie it to one of the acts. But yes, SP10 is floating out there as an idea. Any new international servers planned? Not right now. It is likely to happen at some point down the line, but currently we're not planning one in the immediate future.
Land of Death, they're asking.
Yeah, that is also a request we get a lot. A new Land of Death, presumably for champion level. Not in this patch, but it is something we are very heavily working towards. We want to bring into the game for sure. It's likely one of the features of the part 2 of Act 8.
Exactly.
So also plan for next year, if we can make it work. All right, I think those were all the necessary questions right now, the ones that will come up a lot. We'll probably answer them 10 more times as we go through it. When will you do fusions? There we already are. Yeah, merges still planned for next year, as they were 5 minutes ago when I last answered the question, but we will surely do it again. Right. I think with that we are good, unless you want to mention something, and we'll get to the actual in-game showing off stuff.
We can show the trailer first, the feature trailer.
Right.
We'll also show the
I will
parts.
switch out for season and become much less pretty, but that's okay.
Wow.
All right, let's roll the feature trailer.
Hello everybody, we are back I think from the feature trailer.
Yeah, hello, I'm Season, I'm the second game designer next to Tommy, next to Jofiel.
Yes, I'm the first game designer then I think.
Yeah, and we're going to go over the entirety of the Act 8 update and show you everything related to all the good stuff, all the changes that we made to it, and everything that's... Yeah, it's going to be a really nice experience. At least we hope it will be for you as well. And yeah, let's jump right into it.
Let's jump to the in-game part.
Okay.
Can we please switch to the... Yeah, perfect.
Okay. Well, okay. Well,
so, as we said already before, like Act 8 will be for Awakening level 20. So, this is basically where you start.
mm-hmm.
Oh,
You want to show the map maybe? Or?
oh, it's on my PC. Okay, yes, we will show. I thought we were showing yours.
No.
So, okay. So yeah, you start in a wonderful city here. Maybe we can show the other computer. It's easier, I think.
Okay.
Easier.
Oh, also we're displaying the chat.
Yeah, that's why. But it's fine. Exactly.
Okay, yeah, so here you can see like the entire area. It's quite big. I mean, yeah, like you have like the individual shops. You have Ein, who's going to play a very important role in the story.
Mm-hmm.
I believe we didn't go over this full story yet. But
We didn't yet, but we basically showed the trailer, which is telling the story.
yeah, I mean, you get most of the info from the story trailer. It's yeah, pretty close to that, and yeah. With these NPCs, you have like different options, of course, like the usual menus that you know for like upgrading your equipment, fusing resistances and other stuff, which we will go more into detail later. I guess
Let's start with the level maps here. We go
yeah,
over
let's
the maps.
start with the level maps. So, most of you have already requested that, of course, we have like a shortage of maps where you can level up your characters, and like a huge imbalance in the amount of experience that you can gain on each map. So, what we've done is we've actually split up several maps, and well, maybe this isn't the best example. Actually, let me go to a certain map. Okay, so as you can see, these monsters now have awakening level. This one plays a critical role in the new experience distribution that we've implemented. To keep it simple, if you're roughly on the same awakening level as the enemy monster, you will get full experience.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're like, let's say 7 levels above or below with that, then you'll slowly start to get less experience from them. So this may sound like it's like a penalty and like, oh no, then I can't level wherever I want, but it's actually a good thing, because this allows us to have like several maps that are dedicated to a certain level area. So, for example, players from level 55 are here, or champion level 55 until roughly 65 will be able to level on this map and like 2 others, which have similar monsters of a similar level cap. And then once you move to higher level areas, then you have different maps where you can then have, for example, level from level 65 to level 70. And we have like, I believe, 7 different maps on, well, 7 channels for that, just to level up to, I think, around level 75. So you have like, per server you have like 50 different maps, just to level up, where we also made sure that all of them grant a similar amount of experience. So it shouldn't really be a matter of, oh no, I just want to level on this specific map, but all of them should really grant like a very, very similar amount. We put a lot of effort into making sure that the experience values are similar to each other. So I hope that's something you can look forward to and that you will enjoy. Because that should certainly make the leveling experience overall much smoother.
Mm-hmm. What we also see there already, because you clicked on the monsters, like they have a new class basically. They are not monsters
right.
anymore.
They're like, in the past it was kind of an issue that all monsters, well, all of them were just categorized as a monster. For this act, we actually have several different monster types. For example, we have low-level dragons. We have some smaller animals, I believe. And if we go, like these are like little plants. These are like little mushrooms. They're very cute. Yeah. We really love those mushrooms. Okay. But on the other side of the river, we also have certain Sharks, which you might have seen already. They're a little bit unusual because they can walk.
It's a shark bear.
Yeah. And they're obviously classified as animals because they are animals. I mean, it's something that in the past didn't really make a lot of sense, but we try to find monster races that fit really well into the game. So that's something that hopefully you will also kind of enjoy at least.
I see a question in chat if the fisherman will get more levels.
That's actually something we have also considered, like already at the start of the of this new content update. But unfortunately, it's something that we can't provide yet.
Yeah, there was basically not enough time for it.
Yeah, we barely have enough time to finish everything from this particular content update.
But it's on our list. We will.
Yeah, it's something that we will most likely include with the next expansion.
Mm. Also, not just fishermen, also the cook. That's why we also actually removed all the cooking stuff from this act because there was some food in there and so on. But we moved it and keep it basically for the chef specialist later.
Yeah. So yeah, like with the new, like when the next big content update arrives, then we'll have new like added fishing areas, new fishes, and new chef dishes that you can cook and craft, and that will have special effects for you. So yeah, that's also something to look forward to.
So now we have like two kind of maps. I think we have like the different kinds of. There's an ice map also, which we can show already. And there's a fire map we can.
Oh
show.
yeah, I could show these maps.
And
actually, let me
me
walk
there in
there
the corner. The bees.
Hope you're having fun there. Okay, just giving you a little overview of the map. I think some of you already saw this map on the trailers, where it looked a little empty, and you were also, like, I've heard some complaints about players saying like, oh, this looks a little empty and everything, so we added lots of clouds in here, and I hope you will like that. Yeah,
before it was kind of hard to see where you can walk actually and so on. It looked a bit weird when the items were flying in the air. That's why we asked to change those maps.
So yeah, and we'll put a lot of effort into reworking these maps as well, so they are nice and shiny. Okay, let's move on to the next area. As you mentioned, the ice area. You can find it at the north side of the village, where you also have like these little cloud areas, because that's all actually for a story reason, as you can maybe see on the mini map here. It's like a huge island that is connected to other different islands, or not directly connected, but like they're right next to each other.
Yeah. In the story later, you will find out why you can actually walk on the clouds.
Yeah, it has a story reason why you can actually walk on the clouds. We're not just cheating here, okay? It's all very consistent.
We do, but...
yeah. So yeah.
There's the cutest monster, I think. It's the little snowball.
Oh, yeah, these ones. They're super cute.
We will check if we can bring this stuff as kind of pet into the game somehow. Let's see.
Yeah. Like, we really like those. They have like a little smiling face and everything. Okay, yeah, so I should probably just copy the command.
And don't die, please.
Oh yeah. So these are, yeah, this is like the frozen lake. You have like...
reminds me actually also of the movie Frozen, when I saw it first.
Yeah. We have also like all kinds of monsters here. As you can see, the level area here is intended for level 65 until 75. So it's more of an advanced map already. And yeah, just lots of frozen and ice-themed enemies. Even little blue dragons here, who also deal ice attacks. Let me rush through these. I mean, we don't want to spoil everything, but I mean, yeah. I think it's nice to just show off some of the maps.
Maybe you can go to the dark map. I don't know, the fire map.
We could also show that one, yeah. But here's more icy maps, I guess. That's also cool. Like little labyrinth, which would make perfect sense for a pre-room map, right?
Exactly. Yeah, we were like asking Antvil this time for a pre-room map, which we could I don't know if you remember for the Fallen Paimon. How's it called? Awakened Paimon. Yeah. We were creating the pre-room map on our own. Like we were sending Antvil the stuff. We were thinking how it could look good like, and we did the same here. Actually, we asked Antvil for pre-room maps. And we actually used this one and the pre-room map, and also for the fire maps we used 2 maps as pre-room maps for the raid.
Mm-hmm. Here we have little ice dragons, which are the babies of the first raid boss, which we will get into later. For now, let's check in on the shadow map. Oh well, it's not necessarily a shadow map, it's like a volcano area. So
yeah, exactly. Fire.
It's fire and shadow.
It was also visible on the background of us, basically. Yeah. It was an ice island and fire island.
So here you have like lots of griffins, which have no element. Can make them a little harder to kill, but we already considered that as well, so shouldn't be an issue. Again, we spent a lot of time on balancing these maps out. And yeah, like after we follow this path, there's like Gorge Path 2. After that, it's Gorge Path 3, and then finally yeah, here are already some shadow griffins and some lava dragons and everything.
They're supposed to be shadows. There's no texture missing, in case you're asking.
Yeah, it's intended. Okay, it's a feature. And after that, here we're
Test a little monkey. I saw that comments on the trailer.
And yeah, this is Grapple Gorge. Here you have like a huge map. Over here, there's like a little connection dot, and you can, for leveling purposes, what you can do is just either lure this side and then lure this side together, and like you can even dual level this, I suppose, with a partner. And yeah, that's just, I don't know, I just generally like this map design overall.
Yeah, that's something we did not change yet. I mean, generally the XP, like how it's divided in groups, it's the same as before. But generally, as Season already said, the maps are way more balanced, so you can level on more maps than just one, like in Act 7.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, as Tommy mentioned, the party XP distribution wasn't adjusted, but which is probably also important to note, monsters in this new act will be noticeably more difficult. So it could even be that maybe if you don't have like the latest equipment or anything, then you can just do up with a friend and like share the experience. And because monsters are kind of harder, but also grant you more experience, even leveling with a partner would be worth it still, compared to the current experience received in Act 7.
And that's also what I meant before when we talked about like you can access Act 8 with level 20. That's true, because you can just join the maps, but actually you will not get experience with level 20 on those maps. So it's not possible to level someone with level 20 on those maps and he gains a lot of experience, because that would just be broken. It's just, I think from level 55 it would make sense to start slowly to level in this act.
Yeah, like before that you still, I believe until starting at level 42 or something, you start getting some experience, but it's heavily penalized, so we mainly recommend leveling in this act for starting at
I think 50 to 55 was
roughly 55. But you can still, I mean, if you complete the main quest and everything, you can get experience from these main quests and from daily quests, which is something, if you wish to do that, you can do that. You get experience independent of your level. So you would also be able to gain some level ups from quests in that way.
But it will be hard.
It will be hard because monsters are obviously way more difficult. So
and the raids also.
Yeah.
So what are we leveling for actually in Act 8? What is our goal there? I mean, yes, we can level there for hours, but for what actually? What?
Sure. I mean, what you can gain is obviously new equipment, as we mentioned. We've divided it into two sets. One is meant for leveling up. Let me quickly check. Ooh. Okay. Don't want to be bothered by a monster. Okay. So, well, let's not go into the main weapons yet, but here you can see we have like new weapons, which start at level 65. They have roughly, if you compare it to other pieces of equipment, roughly the same stats compared to the level 60 equipment, but they get a bonus. So right now this text still says like damage to low level monsters, but it actually affects all enemies, all low level enemies. in the new Act 8 area. So if you feel like, well, I'm not quite doing enough damage to level up on my own, then you can use this equipment, which will, like the same is true for the secondary weapons. Take a look at these, then they also have this effect. So in total, with the new equipment set, you can deal up to 20% more damage in the new area, which should easily help you out with any struggles you may have with leveling. So
and the armor is also giving you more defense, right?
Right. We also added a similar effect to the armor. So you receive less damage from monsters here. So overall, with the new equipment, you should be able to...
You hide everything behind me, basically, effect.
Oh, sorry.
I'm too tall, sorry.
Here. So this is the level 65 one. Okay, and this is the current weapon.
It's the same for mages and for archers and for martial artists, of course.
Right. So overall, just this equipment will just help you with, gearing up much easier.
Yeah. This equipment you can drop out of the raids.
Right. You can get it from the raids, which we will also show in a bit. And you can then later on convert this equipment with some of the other materials into the newest weapon. These weapons also have like an additional buff that they gain, similar to the level 60 ones.
It's behind you.
Okay, this should be fine. So with these weapons or this equipment in general, we've taken a new approach of adding additional effects that will kind of match their roles, like for the individual classes. So swordsman will have a certain debuff that forces enemy to only be able to use basic attacks. So enemies will be able to deal much less damage against them, which kind of fits their tank role and their tank nature. For archers, we have a similar effect to the current one, which you already know, with like removing enemy debuffs, but also increasing damage from critical hits. Because archers are all about critting down their enemies. For the mage, I personally like this one quite a lot, but first of all, it increases the chance for receiving debuffs on an enemy, and it also decreases their elemental resistance, because mages are mostly about, draining the resistances of enemies, in the case of Volcano at least, my favorite specialist card, let's be honest here, and also just applying enemy debuffs on enemies and so on. So I personally really like this one. And lastly, the martial artist.
Last but not least.
Obviously some effects related to PvP, because it's kind of a PvP class balanced around PvP, but also some other effects like reducing dodge, which is actually quite significant, since it indirectly buffs their own hit rate if their enemy is less likely to dodge. So yeah, we believe most of these effects will be really nice. Also, while we're at it, for the armors, because I mean that's a similar effect here if I remember correctly. For martial artists, for example, they have a buff that allows them to hit every single attack, because we believe this is the main issue that the main thing holding back martial artists at the moment, and this could actually be quite powerful for them and help them in many ways. So we're excited to see how these changes pan out on the long term. Let's also show like the different effects from all other classes. This from the mage, this from the archer. Here increasing dodge rate.
And speed.
And speed, yeah, just an archer type of buff. This one, quite interesting because it helps them tank even more damage. It makes them very tanky for a short period of time. And this one, from the swordsman, deflecting damage on enemies again. Because that's also like, it's like, first of all, increasing the defense by quite a lot, and just deflecting some of the damage because they have the most HP, so this will benefit them the most, these types of effects. So yeah, again, we put quite some time and effort into balancing these out for a bit, and we're excited to see how they play out in the long run. Something else you might have noticed is are these production scrolls. The difference between these one and these ones are that those are tradable while those are not. The tradable versions, you can get them out of raid chests if you're lucky. And they can be freely traded with any other players, and these scrolls you will need for production of certain items. Ooh, that one was a spoiler. As you can see, you need like 3 production scrolls. This is similar to Act 5.2, where we also had the similar concept where you need 3 production scrolls and some other materials. This time it will be similar. These are going to be some of the more rare items, so those will be very important. And yeah.
You forgot the secondary weapons of, like you just showed the...
Oh, did I?
The swordsman.
True, I did. Well, martial artist doesn't have one because he can't use a secondary weapon. That's a shame. For the mage, right, it's pretty similar for most of them. The main new effect is decreasing defense level, which will be actually quite significant for raids and PvP alike, because defense level is used for a lot of calculations which are mostly underappreciated, but they are actually quite strong. So hopefully you will like it. And also because this is like a frost thematic, so like reducing movement speed and everything, it just makes sense. For the dagger, similar effect, but also applies a kind of, what do you call it? It's similar to like a spike effect, but applied to the enemy. So when the enemy attacks you, then he will lose some of the damage that he deals to you. So it's like a negative life steal effect. And last but not least, the crossbow. Yeah, again here also defense level decreased, and this is like the reverse of. Oh yeah, it's hard to explain. You can read it yourself. You can probably figure out what it does. It's good stuff. Okay, it's one of the first things that we balanced, so I don't quite remember, and I don't have the brain capacity at the moment to think about it. So yeah. Right. So
next to equipment, we have something else also. Or we want to show first the scroll mechanism. We have the resistances and some heads.
I guess we can show this one, huh? I mean, this one, the accessory scroll. This time we decided to go for 2 actually useful types of accessories. Usually in the past we had like 3 types which are kind of meh, and then one which is really, really good. So for this one, we've decided to go with one which is balanced around PvE and one around PvP. So these are the PvE pieces. Here you gain damage and some elemental damage. This is fairy element, so it's not like your element is increased by 4, but it's like your actual fairy elemental damage is increased by 4. So the number you see right here. It is currently 0 because I don't have the fairy equipped. So these will increase your total fairy elemental damage by 10 if you have all 3 of them. And for our fans of PvP, we have these new ones. All of them, by the way, use still on level 10.
Yeah.
Because that's currently just the maximum, so nothing much we can do about that. But those will all provide some PvP assistance and also additional reduced critical damage. So if you have all 3 of them, you gain like 45% critical damage reduction. So we expect them to be quite significant this time, and we hope that this will have a positive impact. If you compare them to previous iterations of accessories, you will notice that these have slightly more damage reduction on them, which will also mean that PvPs will tend to last a little bit longer than they used to be, because players will end up receiving less damage overall, which is a good thing, because if everybody just one-shots each other, then that's no fun, right?
There's one more special item in.
Yeah, there's one more.
Wants to.
These masks. We listened to your feedback there, and we got quite a few requests about, well, can we get a new mask for this new content? which actually wasn't originally planned, and we requested this, and Anvil were nice enough to provide one for us. And yeah, so we finally have a new mask item, which we haven't had in quite a long time, I believe since Act 6 Part 2. So yeah, these are the new effects. It's mainly increased PvP damage and PvP defense, and also instead of light resistance increase, it increases all resistance now, which is also good because if you paid close attention to the new equipment, then you might have noticed that that resistance drain has been increased for quite a bit. So yeah. Then what else do we have?
This is for the raids later.
Oh yeah, I mean
we can show now the raids actually if you want, because I just teleported to you and we can just start it there.
Okay, yeah, then
if you're going to get visible again, then we can.
Yeah. Oh, you can just put it in the raid list, I believe.
No.
Okay.
Did I?
Oh, I can't.
You cannot. Okay.
I need to complete the quest first. I'm sorry. And I told you.
Yeah, you told me, and now you are not prepared.
Okay. I guess we can switch to his
We can
screen.
switch to my screen then.
Yeah. And you can show off the raid.
Yeah. I hope I will not die as often as I did last time. Can we switch to my computer, to my screen?
Okay.
Yes, we did. Perfect. So this is the first raid where you start, as we did in the past already. We have basically the entry area of the raid is free, so you can sum up with your team here. You can use Team Stone on this map again and start the raid basically. So I'm invisible now, so let's see, because I don't want to die again. So on this raid, basically, you can see you have to fight against those. You will see later in the story which role they have, and they're going on patrol here, and you have to walk through the whole raid. This is basically, as we said before, one of the pre-room maps. You have to kill a lot of monsters and do levers. And something special we did this time, which we didn't do before, is that you cannot just simply go through the whole room and kill 2 of the monsters. You have to kill the biggest part of the map, so of the smaller monsters, to be able to spawn some of the monsters you have to kill later. So on the right side you can see you have to kill 13 monsters. Let's say 10 of them are now visible already. So you have to kill some of the other monsters first to unlock the other 3, which you have to kill them in the end, basically. So this way we want to prevent, actually, as we said, that there are like speed raids where you just go through the raid and do it in a few seconds by just killing the bosses. So yeah. 1 hour raid? No, I don't think so. I mean, you will probably be much faster than us. But of course we will have a look later on the raid. If we see they're too difficult, which doesn't seem to be the case right now, then we might adjust something there. But I think with the Awakening Paimon we already added a nice raid for you, and also the rewards, which we will show later, or we talk about later, are quite nice out of the raids. So yeah. For the last room I will make myself visible to see the nice effects of the boss. And as we said before, it's like the pre-room maps are the same maps as before already. Like when you go to the raid, you have to pass through those 2 maps, and then you're in the raid basically. Looks a lot, don't worry, you will manage to. So, and we are there. So, you have seen this map probably already in the trailer, which was empty in the trailer, but now there's a zombie dragon. I have my client in German, it's nice. So yeah. Oh, I don't have one of the items which you have. So yeah, do we want to talk about the special skills he's doing? While I'm running away.
Well, I mean, which one exactly? I mean,
he's doing this bit, the fog basically there.
Oh yeah. I mean, he's going to do that in a bit. And yeah, he casts a special attack.
Yeah.
Summon some monsters. Later on, he will. You need to kill these monsters, I believe.
Exactly, you have to kill those monsters because otherwise the boss will not receive damage from you. So you have to kill those monsters first.
And then they will drop a certain item, I believe.
If I'm not stunned, yes. was a horrible idea. No.
Yeah, I should have come with you, I believe.
Yes. You can still join me. No, you cannot.
I can't.
Okay, let's wait a bit.
But yeah, those monsters will drop some items, and these items you will need to remove a certain debuff, else, well, you will probably die. And yeah, there's like some little mechanics that you need to look out for, also for the ice boss especially.
Yeah.
So I hope you will enjoy them. I mean, for us it was quite fun to clear the raid, so I would imagine it would be fun for you as well.
Also, the bosses, we made them not too strong in the end because like the preview maps take some time already, we know that. So it's not like you're running through the raid and need like, I don't know, 20 minutes for the preview maps and then the boss, you just die there one hit or something. It will not be that hard.
Yeah, also you can actually see the plus 20 specialist card. I've seen that question in chat.
Oh.
He's actually wearing one, so as you can see, you have like these little dragons flying around you.
And one of my head.
Yeah, and once you acquire these, the specialist card plus 20, you have like a small chance to summon a little baby dragon, which works similar to the Onyx effect, but main difference is, well, the chance is much lower. But the dragon itself deals slightly more damage in return, and it also procs on basic attacks. Oh yeah, and it also can trigger a certain buff for the player. So whenever the dragon activates, you gain a certain buff, which can be different regarding related to the element that you're using. But you can you have the option to change the effects by yourself.
Too bad to clear the raid, I think. I need your help. Where are you? You cannot do anything when you go.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I could try, but
let's do it like this. So. Can I kill him now? No, I cannot. So as we said, you have to kill the monsters first, otherwise he's not receiving any damage. Now his debuff is gone and I still don't do damage. I forgot a monster.
Yeah, no, I can't do anything. Sorry.
So what do we get out of those raids?
Yeah, I could probably show that as well.
Yeah. Or talk about it first.
Well,
until
okay.
I killed the boss.
You can, similar to Glaceros and Draco raids, you get like a little raid token at the end of the raid. And these raid tokens you can trade in against some of the most valuable rewards from these raids in particular. So, say for example you're unlucky and do like 50 raids and still don't get the main prize, then you can get just one of the main prizes by trading in these tokens.
Maybe we can show this computer again, because then I don't have the token yet.
So, if you just double click on the item, then you can see these rewards here. You can either trade it in for a raid box, like 5 of them you can trade in for 1 raid box, that's fine. Or you can trade in 1 of each against like these dragon gems. These dragon gems will be used for upgrading your specialist card. Or either of the upgrade or production scrolls, sorry, related to the raid. So this one, the Valkyrie raid, will drop the armor and the secondary weapon scroll, and the other one, the Alzanor, will drop the main weapon and the accessory scroll. Yeah, and you can trade these in for some of these horns. If you're very unlucky. Again, also in addition to that, we've also increased the drop rates of these items compared to what they used to be in the past. So they're actually not that bad, since the raid is taking much longer, of course. Yeah. So we've also considered that. Right, and you can also trade them for certain resistances. These are
we have something new.
Yeah, I mean, we have something new for these ones. These are, well, resistance oriented around PvE, so these grant you very elemental damage as well. So this one, and if you also consider the other one, those are up to 10% elemental resistance that you can gain from these, which again we believe will help people quite a lot if they're leveling up or if they're just wanting to deal more damage. I guess that's always something the players want, right? And yeah, as you should probably also notice, like here you can only get the limited versions, so you can't get them on like 10 accounts and then trade them over to a different account. Because what we also took a lot of time for is making sure that none of you folks will abuse it with like 20 accounts at the same time. Because in return for doing that, we can of course make things just a tiny bit more worthwhile for everybody.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Also, disclaimer for these resistances: at the moment, they don't drop out of the raids. Out of the raids, you get the PvP version instead. So, if you you still have like if you gain like a really good resistance out of the raid, that's also great. You can obviously also sell it to players, so it's not like we're taking something away from you. These are more like on top if you, just want to improve your own character and not just for monetary gain, I believe.
Yeah. And important, those resistance can only be combined with themselves.
Yeah. Those are like a new type of limited resistances, which is not marked yet. But these can only be combined with each other, so within the same item. So you can of course do several raids and just trying to sum them all up and get like really good resistances. I mean, they do have decent values, but you can combine them with some other like very cheap resistance. So this is mainly meant for just for balance reasons. So you don't like get this resistance within like the first day and then have like the strongest resistance with the best damage increase. But it's more of an investment and also like a trade-off. If you don't have this at the max sum or like sum 5 or sum 6, then you might have only like 60% resistance here, but you gain some damage instead. So it's like a kind of trade-off. Like you gain some damage, but you're also not perfectly protected against enemy attacks. So yeah, we think that's a good thing.
Mm-hmm. Someone asking how often you can do the raid per time per day?
It's not limited. You can do it as much as you want. So that's also one of the differences compared to the Awakened Paimon raid. Mm-hmm. This time we didn't add any limitation because we believe the rewards, like we're pretty confident with the pre-room maps that we have, and that like you can't spam like 50 raids in 2 minutes. So we believe if you invest the time to do these raids, then you should also be rewarded. And if you want to do 10 of these raids in a row, then you're obviously encouraged to do that.
Mm-hmm. Even 100 in a row. What about the dark scrolls you have there in your inventory?
Oh yeah, these are the ones that drop from the raid. So these are tradable. You can sell them to other players. I mean, they might want, for example, if they want to produce these ones, they might want to have like a second one. So let's say they drop one of them or they get one of these from the horn items.
Token shop, yeah.
From the token shop, yeah. And then you need an additional one. They can buy it from other players. So you can use one of these ones, and you can open them, and then they're unsealed. And then they convert into one of these items. So you can trade them, you can sell them, you can do whatever you want with them. But once you open them, then they're bound to your character, because then you can no longer trade them. So that's like a nice way of still giving out like some of these scrolls. And I mean, if let's say you drop 2 or you drop 1 of the raid, you buy 1 of them, and then you get another one from the token shop, then you have like all 3 you need to craft your own weapon. Mm-hmm. That's just kind of our idea behind this, that you have, of course, some investment yourself, like you need to invest either time or you buy it from other players, that's also fine. But we want them to be worth their time, and they are going to be very strong. Like, let's be real. They're going to give you... Oh, okay, yeah. Or maybe I should start with this one, because that one's actually
That's your favorite, yeah.
Yeah, it's my favorite. Like, these ones will reduce resistance by 40, which previously, I believe, was... for comparison, was 30. So 10 more resistance strain. And also the nice effect that can also additionally decrease resistance. And, yeah, So these ones will be quite strong. This is also something that we changed from the previous iteration of weapons. Previously, all classes had like the same elemental drain, but swordsman had, for some reason, like 5 more resistance drain, or 10 more resistance drain, which kind of broke the balance a bit because they also received soft crit with that update. So instead, we've shifted the focus a little bit and gave mages more resistance drain. So that's their main defining feature, that they just can deal a lot more damage by default just by decreasing the elemental resistance of enemies. But in return, other classes have their other advantages, like Ultra having a slightly higher crit damage rate now than compared to Swordsman, for example. And yeah, both of them actually dealing similar amounts of damage, at least according to our tests, which we've also done quite a few of them. And yeah, overall they should be around, like, we try to balance them all out in a similar way, so all classes will have similar resistance drain except for Swordsman. If you have noticed already, soft crit damage will remain the same, but we decided to instead increase the base damage rates. And yeah, so
someone I saw in chat, someone is asking if the sea level 65 equipment is also increasing damage in raids.
No, it's only that's also something that we considered, but we want this to be like a leveling equipment, so they will not work in raids. They will work on all leveling maps, but they will not work on the new instant combat, and they will not work in the raids, because I mean the main goal should be that you use this gear to level up to get to hero level 80 as quickly as you can, and then you can convert these with these little scrolls and turn them into your favorite equipment, your hero level 80 equipment. So that's also good because I mean you can actually make use of them, and you can then carry their shell effects over to your new weapon. So we believe that's like the best way to make the most use out of your equipment.
What we can also show in between is because we told you in the beginning we have a code which you can redeem in the NOS mall. We will display it somewhere. The code should be D&D, so Dinos and Dragons, because as many of you knew in the beginning that there will be dinosaurs. I don't know how you knew it, but there were dinosaurs, so we have a new code.
We should probably actually show them. On this map, here you have your dinosaurs. Okay. Enjoy.
Those are the only ones.
Yeah, these are literally the only dinosaurs in the entire act, but I mean, you kind of predicted them, so.
But it was super funny to see, like, when we received Act8, we also didn't know what 100% what would come there. But when we saw dinosaurs, it was like, wow. It was. I don't know if Enfield was reading your comment somewhere or whatever, that Enfield added some dinosaurs.
Yeah.
But there they are.
Yeah, there they are. So I guess you guys were right all along.
There in the chat, you can see dinosaurs, dragons, dinos and dragons.
Dinos and dragons. That's the code. You can redeem it in the NOS mall right now. You don't need to enter it in the chat, please, people. Go to the NOS mall. There you can redeem it.
In the NOS mall, there's like, don't go on the payment. There's like a option button, and then you can redeem a code there. But this code will work until the end of January, so you still have some time to redeem it. You don't have to do it right now.
Regarding the question I just saw in the chat, no, there's currently no new shell effects planned for the new act. It's something we could consider for the future, but for now, we're not quite sure if it's super healthy for the game.
Yeah. I mean, what we did was like the new effect, we put it on the weapons that you make more damage in Act 8, basically. This is like giving damage to dragons or whatever. So maybe something like this we can add in the future.
Yeah, but for now,
higher shell effects probably not really.
Yeah, for now we just decided to give it to players by default. Like they don't have to roll for like a very decent shell stat, but instead they just get it by default from their weapons. So we believe that's just much more healthy for players and in general. So we don't end up with like 20 different effects that stack up on certain monsters again. Right.
So what else? Someone is asking for the PvP resistance because you only showed the PvE one.
Which ones?
The resistance for the PvP. Not
Oh,
from the total
yeah,
shop,
yeah,
the other
yeah.
one. From the raid.
Should be these ones.
Looks good.
Yeah, those are the new PvP resistances.
I mean, it's not just pure PvP, but of course.
Right. So these ones have significantly increased defenses compared to previous ones. They're not quite as high as the Keratos ones, of course, but instead they increase your defense level, which has actually quite some significant impact on PvP. Can make the difference of like 10% damage in certain scenarios, so it's quite a lot. Right, and these ones are an improved version of the Ancient Beast claws that we had in the past.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of 120 hit rate and dodge, they now grant 160, which is bigger numbers. Yeah. Right.
We can show the other raid for now. You can join me maybe if you have the right quests.
If I have the right quest. Yeah.
Let's see. Maybe I do it alone again, of course.
Let's see. You're also invisible, I see.
Ah, yeah. I don't have the quest as it seems. No, I do. Whew. Can you?
Nope.
You cannot, perfect. Then I will do the raid alone.
No, wait. I can figure it out. I just.
So we are asking Prism for help. It's one of our testers. He helped also a lot with the update, so thanks again. Also Seppo. We are cheating the quest quickly and then we will start the raid.
Frick, I can't.
In case you can... No. I think I will just do the raid alone again then.
Yeah.
If you don't want to do the raids with me, it's fine. Tell me.
I want to do the raids with you.
Doesn't seem like it. Okay, I will go alone. And there we are in the fight. This is my favorite map basically. It's the ice map, so this is also my favorite raid basically. Same with the other raid basically. We have two pre-run maps where you have to kill some monsters in there. The monsters are also spawning if you kill a certain amount of other monsters, so it means you have to kill, for example, 20 monsters, then the next boss will spawn, which you have to kill and so on. But it's basically balanced that you walk, but you will figure out, you will walk around, you will kill the monsters, and there is a correct order basically, which you have to walk around to kill the monsters to spawn the bosses. Then we have the second map where it's the same or similar. And then we have, of course, the boss room again. So we have... We cannot even show you anymore because you're posting all the cheater stuff in the chat there. So it's the second room. We put all the monsters. I mean, it's basically as you also like, you wanted it like a light element and water element raids more. So this one is basically water element, while the other one was shadow element. We know you don't. I mean, we have it in the game already, but that was decided by design by Antful already. It was not really possible anymore to change it. But we are planning in the future to also go more for light and water element, basically, especially light element.
Yeah. Also, one question I saw in the chat. You can, in theory, also level up on the old regions. So in Act 7, you could, in theory, also level up all the way to hero level 80, but it would take significantly more time.
Yeah, that's the thing. The level penalty is only applying on the monsters which also have actually awakening levels. So you can even with level 79, you can go to Act 6 and level there if you want, but you will not see any movement in your XP bar probably anymore.
Yeah.
Oh, I have to be visible to show some of the effects. So what you can see also now, what we said before, like the client is not 100% ready yet, so the boss is super fast. Super fast.
Yeah.
There's one of his mechanism, he can have a shield on its own. I cannot even do anything anymore.
Oh right, yeah, because it does. Yeah, you can actually solo this one, I believe.
Yep.
Because one of his attacks makes like one of the players frozen, and you.
Oh, I'm unfrozen. So no.
Nope. You have to do a certain something to unfreeze yourself.
But I am cool.
Oh.
See.
Wait, how did you do it?
I have no. Yeah, you have to go through those pillars to not die. And you can later craft items which help you in both raids to get rid of this buff, which is annoying because you're super slow. And the other one is like reducing your HP over time.
Yeah. Also, these pillars are spawning monsters, so
yeah, exactly.
That's also something to look out for.
That's one like interesting mechanism of the raid. So the pillars are spawning monsters every seconds, but you also need a pillar to stay alive. So in theory, you can kill some of the pillars because you don't need all of them to reduce the amount of monsters on the maps. But you should not kill all of the pillars because otherwise you will die out of the raid basically.
Yeah.
So as you can see, it's getting more and more already. I cannot do anything. I cannot even type anymore. So, let's see. That makes it much easier. You should also do it in the raids. No, you should not.
So the recommended level for this raid is, I mean, you can start it starting with
20.
20, I believe, yeah.
20 to 80.
Sea level 20. But I guess most people will likely recruit for higher level requirements. Because, well, if you're higher level, then you deal more damage, and that's great. So yeah, I would expect, but it's definitely clear, like you don't need to be champion level 80 to clear this raid. You can just do it with probably 45 already, or even 60. So yeah.
That takes some time again. So we showed everything, almost everything. There are two more things we want to show. One is, you can see it already on my wings basically, it's the little dragons flying around. It's the upgrade level plus 20. We will show directly after I killed this boss here. Because I have to do it alone.
Sorry.
So yeah, we can show the winner. I mean, sorry for the German, I did change my client before, but this is visible already without, so I'm plus 20 now basically already. And have a little icon here. We will show it on another computer then. Once I'm done. And also I saw it in the, after the stream, there was someone asking if it's possible to hide this effect from plus 20. It's not possible yet. I mean, if it's really a problem in the future, we can of course ask for it. But for now, it's not possible to hide the effect from us. If someone has plus 20, you will see the shiny dragons around them. So yeah, here you drop a certain amount of gold. Which is quite nice, we think. And some also used for items which you need later for crafting equipment and stuff. So, now we can show this one.
Wait, don't put me in the spotlight.
Not?
I mean, yeah, I just switched to my mage. As you can see, well, upgrading above plus 16 will add a shiny effect around you, and with the final level you have these little dragons around you. And also, as I mentioned earlier, when you attack, you have a chance to trigger an Onyx effect, which is mentioned here, by the way, if you're looking for it.
I just want to mention that I was like lucky, but also unlucky because I have a rare 7 box on the test server after doing the raid. So
yeah, that's quite lucky indeed. What else? Oh god, I didn't clean up my inventory. I'm sorry for the mess.
I think player knows this mess. It's the same for everyone. Like,
yeah. What else did I want to show actually? Oh yeah, by the way, I saw this question earlier in chat. Because people are obviously wondering, like, well, to reach a plus 20 specialist card, do I have like a 0.0001% chance now, or what's up with that? Actually, we also have some news for that, because, well, I should probably not take a plus 20 specialist, but like a plus... Actually, do I have something lower than plus 15? Probably not. Ah, this one here. Let me quickly cheat my way here. Do I have an... Okay, no, I don't have specialist shop in here. I should probably just use a regular specialist scroll for this.
Which you don't have.
I probably have it somewhere, but my inventory is a mess, so...
No, you don't.
Okay, I don't. Then I go look for the NPC.
There it is, Alchemist. Yeah, we try to put also all the shops you normally have in Nosville and everywhere else to Act 8 again, so you have basically everything there. Also Nosplaza and whatever.
What you might notice now is we actually made a change here. Okay, I mean, this is unlucky because the local is still messed up here, but you can actually, or you're supposed to see the upgrade chances here now. So what we've done with, in this case, is we've actually increased the upgrade chances for plus 15 specialists. So I believe previously they were at 1% chance, now they are at 1.5% chance. So increase it by 50%. And subsequently we also increased the ones following after that. They were previously a lot lower. Well, we're personally pretty comfortable with the upgrade chances as they are right now. So you will be able to see them in the game at all times. And, well, you can make an informed decision about whether you want to upgrade your specialist card, if it feels worth the upgrade for you, or if it doesn't. So I believe that's also, personally believe that's a nice change for players as well. So let me check in the chat.
Yeah, basically we gifted you 50% more.
Yeah, you have like a permanent 50% upgrade event from plus 14 to plus 15, I guess. Oh wait, actually I should be able to show that. Oh, well. Also,
We have
I
to
should
wait some seconds.
Yeah, I'm patient. Did I say patient? I mean, oops. You can't really show it without wings, but I mean, if you sit down, then you can see just the effect, I believe. Okay.
What does it bring you? I mean, you showed already that you give the little dragon effect, but also you get some points, right?
Right, you get more specialist points, and with each upgrade... Okay, I expect everything in defense. That's very smart of me.
Wow, I would throw this card away.
But yeah, with each upgrade, you can unlock certain points that you can spend in your specialist card. Right now, the max cap is at 100 points. And with each upgrade, you can extend that by 5 points. Up to plus 19, which is then at 120, and 120 is the max for everything. So...
yeah, it's important, you know, you don't have directly by default 120 points now, which you can spend. You have to go with the higher upgrade to get those extra points.
Like with each upgrade, you will unlock 5 more points that you can spend point towards. And...
shells are also now counting up. If you have plus 20, shells can also reach plus 120 points, basically.
Yeah, right. I mean, you can, but only like within the limitations. Like if you have a plus 16 card, you can, even with shells, you can only go to 105.
Mm-hmm.
So that's all calculated. Also, if I just initialize my...
Increase stats, yes, we also have. Do I have an item for it? I can't show mine.
Yeah.
Do I have something nice here to show? I mean, not really. How does mine scale? Let's see. I still have some points left, which you can also show if you want. So, so yeah, actually, as you thought already, when you give more points, you also get some special extra points. So from 100 to 120, we increased also, or we changed the effect.
Yeah.
Or added some more.
Yeah, we added some more mainly. Right now, if you like, I could
cheetah.
Let me calculate my head. Yeah. If you put like 100 points into attack, then you get like a critical damage of plus 50%. If you go all the way to 120 points, you get 200 more attack, and you will gain 20% critical damage, which can make quite a big difference in your overall damage output. Of course, for mages, it might be more interesting now to distribute into the element stat, because they also have more resistance drain now.
Mm-hmm.
And by putting all the points in element, I believe you gain like an additional plus 5% magic damage reduction and some additional element points as well. So
someone asked why we did not change the wings with plus 15 to plus 20. I mean, if you think about how many wings we have in Nostale, that would be too much effort. I mean, Antwil would probably have a lot of stuff there to do on this, just for the graphics for the wings. That's why Antwil decided to add those dragon effects, basically. Oh, nice wing effect.
Thank you. Yeah, like the issue is just we have so many different specialist card wings that would be simply way too much effort. Like we would have to delay the update by probably half a year just to get all the wing graphics updated to have like give each of them 5 new effects. So yeah, that's just the easier solution.
And they would be just bigger. So, and at some point you just have a screen full of wings, which we don't want.
Yeah.
So one thing also did I mention in the beginning? We have 2 codes actually. We have like Dinos and Dragons, and there's one which you have to find out on your own. I mean, if you remember back then when we spoiled first time our Act 8 update on social media, we posted a picture basically with a text on it. If you put this text completely without spaces in the caps lock in the not small, then you also get some nice items. But you have to find out on your own.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Oh yeah. Also, I've seen the question regarding new passive skill books. Yeah, we actually do have them. I mean, if you hide my screen for a bit.
Oh, of course. So let's show my nice inventory. This is one of the items we mentioned before. You have like a potion which you need in this raid basically to remove the effect from the boss, and you have the same later in the other raid. The token shop we mentioned already.
This is the wrong one. Sorry.
The raid boxes from the token shop also important will have a random rare level, so you can also be lucky and get rare 7 out of the token shop, for example, or rare 8 even.
Okay, so in here we have, I believe, 5 new.
Somewhere in there.
Yeah, 5 new textbooks. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Trying to not hide them behind my screen again.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Important to note for these ones is that they will add on top of your Act 7 related books, so it's not like HP values will like double again, but instead of like, I believe you get like a 3,000 HP increase, 3,000 mana points increase, and agility will increase by 30 each. So we did again slightly increase the base stats, but not to an absurd amount as we did with the last update. So
where do I get those books?
You can get them as a very rare drop from simply clearing out the leveling maps. We've placed one, I believe, in every level area, and you should be able to, to find them there. And well, if you're lucky, you drop them definitely. Okay, and as you can see the leveling ranges on them. Like most of them are level 70, mana poke on 75, and HP poke on level 80. Okay, I believe we wanted to enter the instant combat as well, right?
First, I saw a question before, because players love dragons, as it seems they're asking if there will be a pet. A dragon pet.
Yeah, actually we requested that.
Like the mask, like last minute.
Yeah, due to popular demand, we actually included a new dragon pet. You can... Do we want to show it?
I don't have it, but yeah. I mean, it's basically, you saw the small dragons before. We have the red and the blue dragons on the level maps. You can maybe even show it on the other map. You go there, when you go out there, I think you have one on the north.
Yeah.
And Antwell added a version which was used before and somewhere else, but then they, the version was removed basically, so it was not used anymore. There's a yellow version of this dragon, and this will be given out as a pet.
I believe we actually added it back in as a monster now.
Oh, maybe we did, yeah. But
in
this,
the Escobas, yeah.
Okay, but this one in the yellow version you will have as a pet later after you're finishing the main quest of Act 8. It's cute.
It's actually super cute. Like, it has an insanely cute sitting and dance animation. I really, really like what they did with those. So yeah, that's definitely something you can also look forward to. Oh, and we also have a new title, which is
Dragon Hunter.
Yeah, the Dragon Hunter, which will increase your regular damage and your damage against high-level dragons, which, by coincidence, all 3 of our new bosses are high-level dragons. So it's actually quite a decent effect against clearing the raid bosses. So if you manage to clear the storyline, then it's all yours. You get it for free.
But spoiler, to clear the story, you have to do the raids first. So.
Yeah, you have to clear the raids once each. Also the new instant combat. So...
But first I want to, again, like there's Dinos and Dragons as a code, and the other one is, if you think back of when we spoiled Act 8 on social media, there was a text on the picture basically. If you put this in caps lock in the Osmo, you have a code, and then you get some nice Christmas items. Also, because I saw the question again, the books will they will replace the old books from Act 7, so it's not like an additional 10,000 HP, it's an additional
3000 HP if you have the level 60 ones already. If you for some reason don't have them yet, then it would in theory be a 10,000 increase. But yeah. Okay.
So now they're asking for the instant combat. Before we show it, I would say like the instant combat. Let's tell about something first, like about it first, because like the instant combat, it's not like maybe you think like you go in there and it will replace the old instant combat, so the old instant combat might die or something. This is not the case. The old instant combat will still happen as you're used to it. The new instant combat, the Azkaban invasion, is basically the big bad dragon is attacking the town and you're supposed to stop him there. That will happen sometimes during the day, not as often as the normal instant combat. It will happen less often, so I think we think about 4 times for now. 4 times a day, and it will happen between the normal instant combat times. For this one, you also have to do the main quest of Act 8 until a certain step where you have to fight Azkaban then, and you need Awakening level 30 for it because it's quite hard. And you get some nice rewards out of it. So you don't get only gold or angel feathers as you're used to from normal instant combat. You get Act 8 items which you need for upgrading items or for crafting items and so on. And also special there you get Awakening experience for the different levels or the different phases of the instant combat. I think we can start now if someone wants to start the instant combat now, and we can join.
Yeah. Again, shout out to Prism who helped us a ton with this update. Also,
and Zeppo.
Yeah, and Zeppo. Also here he just prepared some accounts just so we can enter.
I mean the accounts I prepared, come on.
Okay.
But he logged them in, yes.
Yeah.
So to join the new instant combat you have to be on the Act 8 maps completely, like one of them. And then a new symbol will appear.
I hope you have the quest right.
I hope so. Not sure. Do you?
Wait, I specifically logged into a different character. Wait.
Let's show mine for now, because I have the quest. We can also show this, I mean, if you're asking Prism always for stuff. Ten seconds, go. That will not work.
Okay. Got it. Whew.
The symbol is not there for you. Oh, your client is not. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it's fine. So, you might have the same stuff. I mean, when we introduced the battle pass or something, sometimes the symbol is not really shown. You just have to repair your client once after the update is done.
Yeah, I just had a visual bug on my screen, but you couldn't even see it, so it's all good.
We can show you also.
Oh yeah, the chat is hidden.
Yeah.
That's very good, yeah.
There we are.
Okay, yeah.
So you need minimum of 10 people in here, otherwise it's not starting, because less 10 people it's impossible to do it. And as we said, Awakening level 30 is needed.
I guess we activate God mode?
Yes, we need God mode for sure. Because with 3 people it's impossible to do it. So.
Yeah.
You can see we spawned some of the monsters here. It's even the Azkaban's child is in there. The little cute one, which we just defeated. So Azkaban is like divided into 4 phases. Like you are not able to kill him completely because in the storyline Azkaban is always attacking the town again and again, and you are trying to stop him from that. So based on the HP Azkaban has, he's like despawning for some time. So if we hit him 1 or 2 times exactly like this, and you drop some items there on the floor, on the ground,
which you can pick up.
Exactly, and after 1 minute or 30 seconds, I think, 30 seconds, he's coming back. And each phase he will bring more monsters and also some extra bosses there, which makes it harder for you.
Also important, these potions are indeed full HP potions, and they also grant you like a little shield.
You also drop them out of the raids, not just here. And now you can see Azkaban is back with the... Now it's called Magic Ice Dragon, which we still will switch tomorrow, because this is not the Ice Dragon, obviously.
Yeah, that's like a small text issue still.
And there's a nice mechanism in this, so, I mean, you could decide to kill this Ice Dragon or Zombie Dragon But important is to bring him far away from Ascobas, because as long as he's near Ascobas, he's getting a buff. Or Ascobas is getting a buff, which grants him more attack and more defense. And
please take him from
you.
Can't tank them both, please.
I would just hit Ascobas a bit more. So yeah, and this will end, Ascobas will end after the 4th phase, where Ascobas is down to 50% of his HP, and then he will just go away, restore his HP, and will come back after some hours when the next instant combat starts.
Also important to notice,
the winter event is active. That's really important, because someone asked before. So
I guess that's also important, yeah. But also important to notice, if you manage to kill hit Ascobas enough so he enters his next phase, then also the Shadow Dragon will disappear.
So it's up to you to decide if you want to kill the smaller versions first, because they will make your life in here a lot harder. As you can see right now, the meteors are spawning because the Ice Dragon is around.
Yeah, so you can decide to either kill the Ice Dragon or, accept that you're going to die because of all these meteors. Again, take it with a grain of salt. Of course, this raid is designed to be for like 30 people. We're only 2 right now, so we might...
30 high-level people, actually, because it's not... I mean, you can enter it with level 30, but we had to put a level there. We didn't want to make it too high, but below 30, let's be fair. I mean, without the equipment, you cannot do anything in this raid. So now the Ice Dragon, not now, but almost. Oh, wait.
Also important to notice, these meteors grant you a certain debuff. That you can't recover your HP and MP, so you can't use full potions.
Now you can see the Ice Dragon is gone, because I just decided to kill it, and now the meteors are gone, so you can go easy on Ascobas again. This is the 2nd or the 3rd phase already? The 3rd one. The first one, he's alone. The 2nd one, the Zombie Dragon is coming. The 3rd one, the Ice Dragon is coming. And the very last one, you have both of the dragons in there. So this will be a lot harder. And
also, for some reason, these monsters didn't despawn. Oh, right, they don't despawn, right?
Yeah, don't despawn. Just the bosses despawn, but it's... they are low. No problem. In total, you have 10 minutes to do this instant combat.
Wait, why are they... Why are they frozen?
I killed them. Oh, I'm invisible.
Thank you.
And now you can see both are there. Like Ascobas is there with the both of the Zombie Dragon and the Ice Dragon.
Yeah, and you want to get them both away from him?
Yeah. I mean, the Ice Dragon you have to kill actually to get the meteors gone. And the Zombie Dragon you have to lure away like I do right now.
If I really shouldn't have used my mana shield because it drains all my MP.
Don't have potions?
Yeah, but I can use them with the debuff.
Ah, that's bad.
So yeah, again, this is going to be a very challenging one, but we believe the rewards will be worth it.
Yeah, it's probably not for you and your odds. It's like really you and your friends. If you have some, otherwise with other players, which might become your friends afterwards. And also important here, you don't have to clear all phases to get the main reward. I mean, of course you do, but also between every phase, you can open your inventory maybe already to show you get some chests in there. So so after the first one, when Ascobas jumps first, you get one, the second one thrown, and in total you have 3 of them. And after the 4th wave, like now, when we manage to kill him or deal enough damage.
Yeah, let's kill him for now.
Then you get the main reward out of it. And between each phase you're getting also awakening experience.
Yeah, that's also important to note. If you clear the raid, then you will get awakening experience here as well. So it's not just an instant combat for gold and some other stuff, but you actually get experience. You get these chests even if you just survive like 1 or 2 rounds. Per round you get a chest. And if you beat him, then you also get a special chest.
Yeah. And also really important, which we didn't tell yet, or we didn't show it because we had got more. If you're dying in this instant combat, you're not directly out. You can revive yourself once, and if you die a second time, then you're being kicked out of the instant combat.
Yeah, so. Because we thought that this instant combat is already quite high, quite difficult. And yeah, just to give players a second chance if they end up getting hit by some attack and immediately die, that they get a second chance
XP lost. Yeah, XP lost, I mean, in whole Act 8 it will be active again, except for the raids. You don't gain and you don't lose experience there. And the same with Ascobas. You don't lose experience there, don't worry.
Yeah.
That would be too mean.
But for the regular leveling areas, yeah, you can still lose experience there. That part hasn't changed.
Will you fix Act 6 Part 1 difficulty?
This is actually also something that we plan to do.
Yeah. I mean, in general, we had a big plan for Act 8. Like, we would have loved to fix everything in there, also Act 6, and like doing the Land of whatever, how it's called, Land of Death, the second part where you can live experience and so on. But the problem is that the time was simply not there. We cannot delay an update by half a year just because to have everything in there. Because the update like it is right now is already pretty nice for you. You can spend already time there and level up and farm equipment and do stuff which you're normally also doing. So we don't want to hide this stuff already from you just to implement the other stuff. So we release this update, and after that we work on all the other stuff.
Yeah, like many of the things that you mentioned, be it the Land of Living, be it adjustments to the progression of the game, updates to Act 5.2 and Act 6.1, just to make them make a more smooth transition for them. All these things are actually already planned for the second expansion.
Martial artist specialist 5 to 8. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think in the last stream we already mentioned it. Like, martial artist is done like it is right now. It has specialist card 5 to 8. Just 1 to 4 are missing, but it's by design. They will not come at all in the future. Like, when there's a new specialist, martial artist will get it as well, but he will not get 4 more in total. So maybe next year there will be a new specialist card, but then it's for everyone.
Yeah. Also regarding the question, chat, you will lose the same amount of experience as in previous acts. Nothing there changed at all.
But I think we showed everything. Are there any more questions? How we enter Act 8? Yeah, you have to do the main quest of it. You started in Krem, Mount Krem.
Regarding the PvP resistances, they can be stacked with any resistance. They are not limited in any way. You can stack them with the previous ones. So those ones will be slightly easier to get a decent amount of resistance on. But we also believe that they're overall less interesting for a lesser amount of the player base. So we don't want to make it too difficult for them. What is he going to show me now? Oh, right.
Oh,
that's actually important. Right. So
thanks again, Prison.
And then he cancelled the trade. Okay, that's actually a good thing to show. As we mentioned, your little dragon, like you can spawn a little dragon which has an elemental attribute, and depending on which element you apply to it, you can have different effects on it. So let me sort my inventory with the invisible inventory sort button. Wait, did they go now? Oh, here they are. Each one will have a different effect. So, fortunately, I believe I need to unequip my specialist card for this, but it's fine. Okay, so just showing off the effect real quick. Okay.
Sounds right.
So the fire one has this effect. Like all of them will. That's not the effect that I was looking for. Wait. Do I actually have? Okay, I guess I can't show them that easily. That's a shame. I'll just recall them from memory then. The fire one, like all of them, will reduce the elemental resistance from or increase your resistance drain from the related element. So if you have a fire buff, you will reduce enemies' fire resistance by 10. If you have the water buff, you will reduce enemy water resistance by 10, and so on. In addition to that, the fire one will grant you, I believe, 7% more attack damage. The water one will have a 20% chance to reset your last use cooldown skill. Skill cooldown. The light one will increase your... will grant you, I believe, 20% or maybe 50%, I don't know which value we settled on, healing depending on the damage that you've received. So it's kind of a PvP one, and it It's like the shell effect, the armor shell effect with healing based on the damage that you receive. Quite strong actually, and the shadow one will grant you lifesteal. So for a certain amount of time, I believe 5 seconds, you heal for 10% of the damage that you deal to enemies. So in general, the light and shadow ones will be more balanced around PvP, and the fire and water one will be decent for PvE because they increase your damage. So yeah, those are actually, they're like a new system, and we're actually looking forward to them.
You hopefully too. So we would show once more the trailer now, and after that we will have another question answer session. So trailer go. We will be right back.